We've been witnessing basically sideways price activity there since last night's huge breakout for Bitcoin, which saw it reach above $122,000 and XRP nearly touched $3. But don't be deceived by that. There will be no more of this short lull. Although the highest one in this video is $38, they are all within the bounds of truth. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think XRP will reach $38 this cycle. It might occur in the future, in my opinion. That doesn't seem even remotely crazy to me. Although I don't think it will happen this cycle, I do lean more conservative in terms of price forecasts. Even I will concede, though, that if this market goes as crazy as many analysts believe it will, that is a possibility. It's not impossible, I agree. It is definitely feasible if sufficient funds are flowing into the entire asset class, particularly Bitcoin, and then it rotates through. Additionally, many credible analysts with strong performance histories predict that this alt season will not be as enjoyable as the previous one in 2021. Although it was thrilling, it was not nearly as thrilling as 2017. Numerous analysts have shown in the charts why they think this will actually be much more like 2017. Therefore, if such an event occurs, it might pave the way for some of these higher XRP values. Therefore, even if I'm suspicious myself, I'll keep an open mind. I tend to hang around with people who have their own ideas on what is reasonable. I do want to be clear, though, before continuing, I have no financial experience. I'm not giving financial advice, and whatever I say or write should not lead you to buy or sell anything. I'm merely a hobbyist who likes to create YouTube videos about crypto-related subjects for enjoyment. It is 7:58 p.m. when I record this video. My time zone is Central Time. Today is July 14th, 2025, a Monday. The price of XRP is $2.91. Though it's coming, we didn't quite reach the $3 level, but you'll still adore seeing it. Like that, let's be honest. That's definitely on the horizon. Then there is the highest level ever, that is an additional level of resistance. But, to be honest, it's nothing after that. Over $3.40, there aren't many sell orders. As a result, once you break $3.40, which is this year's all-time high, you can easily rise much higher because there aren't many individuals planning to sell over that price. You know, where do you go? Then you have, well, I'll mention this as well. XRP reached a 24-hour high of $3.02. Although I briefly discussed the fact that we were technically above it in X, we were once again turned away from it here. But notice how it gets weaker each time you tap it. And why? Because every time you reach that point, a large number of individuals and sales orders are fulfilled in that area. The available orders are then reduced, and after enough taps, you finally manage to get through the damn thing. It occurs for that reason. Bitcoin is currently worth $119,518. Just last night, the all-time high, $122,688.73, was reached. You will enjoy seeing it. Being in the cryptocurrency space right now is really exciting because, generally speaking, you know what's going to happen next. I mean, my pals, the numbers are rising. A post from chart analyst Tech Dev can be found here. He told his 534,000 X followers about this. What happens when altcoin compression releases after 4 years? He asked. We will soon find out. You are aware of the cheesy adage that goes, the wider the base, the higher in space. This means that the longer a chart consolidates, the more forcefully it will explode when it does. And have a look at this. Take a look at this small triangle. It will explode in front of the apex after consolidating and narrowing. Almost invariably, that is what occurs. What do you think happens, considering that we are in a bull market and that this is the most severe compression we have ever seen for alts? And see what it could get with global M2 at its current level. This is simply going to take XRP, my friends, and the stratosphere by storm. This is just the first opportunity of its like that we have seen in a very long time. And if the analysts who predict that this will be more like 2017 turn out to be right, I won't be shocked. This is a post by Dom, a chart analyst. The sum of the three charts is this. Naturally, the top 125 currencies by market capitalization, aside from Bitcoin and Ethereum, are represented by the sum of the three charts. Total 3, he wrote, Fractal has played flawlessly. At this time, there would be a full-out breakout, vertical with few pullbacks, and some sideways consolidation. Folks, did you hear that? You can see what happened before, and now is the time. Examine the events of 2024. He is stating that this is the moment once more where there will be some sideways consolidation followed by a complete breakthrough that is vertical with little pullbacks. That's our focus. We're about to experience that. To be clear, he doesn't typically speak in that manner. I don't often employ fractal analysis anymore because I believe the market has changed a lot since then, but this one met all of my requirements, he says. They lack context, yet far too many attempt to mimic any fractal they can. The secret to a powerful fractal is that. He is therefore very convinced of this. Jelly, a chart analyst, posted this. On the bullish flag, altcoins are emerging. It appears like the real fun is about to start, following in the footsteps of Bitcoin. Are you prepared? Sure, I'm prepared. Thus, as you can see, there are plenty of skilled experts who think that altcoins, including XRP, are eventually going to melt people's faces. And check out this one. This Bitcoin USD chart is from Mikey Bull Crypto. Wow, this is the first time in history that Bitcoin has broken through 7 years of resistance, he says. There is a huge rally on the horizon. And this morning, he shared that. It is seen here, peeking over this trend line that dates back to 2018. I don't dislike that. I know what I detest. This is a post by Ale Martinez, a chart analyst. Claims that after emerging from the parallel channel, Bitcoin has reached the first target at $121,000, $144,000, $158,000, and $131,000 are the following important milestones. He believes that will happen. To be honest, if there is that much money in the market to push Bitcoin that high, it's difficult to see a scenario in which XRP doesn't experience double-digit price action. This is a post by Ale Martinez, a chart analyst. XRP is yelling at record highs. Do you notice this? This is what I keep seeing, and another chart expert has given their stamp of confidence. I can't think of any chart analysts who don't believe this, but I'm simply giving you instances. They're not speaking if they exist. Probably because they have made too many incorrect predictions about XRP, to be honest. And they simply don't want to look foolish anymore because XRP is the best performing coin among the top 100 since the election, whether they like it or not. There are a lot of chart analysts who have XRP derangement syndrome. It simply is. So, bitch, suck on that. This is a post by Crypto Wizard, a chart analyst. XRP/USD graph. Going to heaven, he writes. Start the breakout. God can, it seems. Warns that XRP is preparing for a new all-time high and that the pennant pattern is attempting to emerge. It's happening exactly the same way 8 years later. If you continue to have doubts, you will fall behind. Therefore, he is stating once more that this appears to be similar to what occurred 2 cycles ago. I can't dispute that. I mean, take a look at 2017. After doing that and consolidating for 6 months, you get your second big burst, which is far larger in terms of money than the first. Of course. And I believe that this will be the case once more. Numerous analysts, such as Credible Crypto, have stated that the second pump will be significantly larger than the first. That's the way these things usually work out, he explains. And historically, that has undoubtedly been the case with XRP. There is no doubt about that. Actually, that's just a matter-of-fact statement. I believe that history will just repeat itself and that it will occur once more. This post was made by chart analyst CW. Reminder, XRP is in a bull market with an impending breakthrough to its all-time high. And this morning, he shared that. Thus, this is simply another vote of trust. I'm merely demonstrating to you what people anticipate. And he wants to sell XRP here for $22. This isn't crazy, that's the top end of the chart. I'm not sure if it will occur. Making price forecasts for anything is not my specialty. I have never done it, and I never will. I simply don't do that. I don't do it. Regarding what is conceivable, I do have some suspicions. I will discuss that. Admittedly, though, I have no idea where this is headed. Just so you know, I don't think that sounds weird. Within the boundaries of reality, that is safe. Bark, a chart analyst, posted this. He told his 221,000 X followers about this. XRP is on the verge of teleporting to $10. This is your final opportunity. Time is almost here. He adds that it can teleport. He's not merely being dramatic when he says that you can quickly get from where we are to $10. It can occur quickly. Remember how XRP began trading in mid-December 2017 and reached its peak on January 4, 2018. Thus, it took almost 2.5 weeks from the time it began trading at about 20 cents to reach its highest point ever, which was about $3.35. That happened so quickly. As a result, XRP is currently trading near $3. We live in a world like that. However, in a relatively short time, they jumped up closer to double digits. That would fall within the bounds of history. Javon Marks, a chart analyst, posted this, XRP is back above $3. That was this morning. Naturally, he argues that $4.80 is the next short-term breakout goal. Fib levels range from $9.63 to $16 next. What you'll see is that they continue to do so, and a lot of analysts think that this is the time we're living in, when it's going to end, and that it will happen sooner rather than later. This wealth will change your life. That quick, really. This is the most significant forecast for this specific video. Gert van Leegen, a chart analyst, is the source. Tell his 119,000x followers about this. After bouncing off the neckline of the 7-year-old double bottom slash ascending triangle, XRP is expected to continue its bull market in a parabolic manner, with a minimum objective of $38. The price reached twice its parabolic target after a final breakout of lower quality. This is conservative, then. Alright, here, I'll be honest with you. Consider it for what it is. I am merely a man on the internet. No, I'm not even an analyst. Well, but I'm just making this decision based on historical precedent and my observations of the crypto industry. Again, I won't claim that $38 isn't feasible. Actually, I'm not banking on it. I'm correct. In my opinion, the likelihood of that happening is extremely minimal. Actually, I don't think that's going to happen. And I'll just acknowledge that I have no ego if I'm mistaken. Yes, I was mistaken about that. Not a huge deal. No, especially when he claims that this is conservative. That is extremely optimistic. It's not conservative. Even if I disagree with him, I'm glad to give my opinion, even though I believe he's mistaken on that point. It's okay if some of you disagree with him, and some of you will. Everyone has the right to their own viewpoint. That seems excessive to me. That isn't conservative, in my opinion. That is extremely optimistic. I mean, if you're talking about $20 or $30, then fine. You know, I doubt you'll be able to start grabbing me there. I'm not entirely sure we'll get that high, but alright. You understand, but then you bring up the subject of $38. It seems like every dollar that goes up will eventually make me less certain that it will happen because, as logic would imply, any reasonable person would naturally feel that way. You now have $38. At that moment, I say, yeah, but I might be mistaken. To be honest, I'd be delighted to be proven wrong, as that would imply that you are all earning even more money. And I'm like, I'm here, you know. I adore our neighborhood. I want the best for every one of you. I, of course, want myself. That would be wonderful to see. You can let me know if you agree with my reasoning or if you believe that $38 is conservative or reasonable. It doesn't matter what you think. Just opinions. Thus, everyone has the right to express their thoughts here. Well, it's not impossible, but okay. I'd be thrilled to see it. Simply put, I don't expect it. However, if there is no time frame and you are referring to an unidentified future point, then sure. As long as XRP is still being used, I mean, I'd be shocked if it didn't occur. So, whatever it would take, whether it's the following cycle or the one after that. Yes. I mean, that doesn't seem all that crazy to me. Well, chart analyst C posted this. Greg Crypto, Fib Circle aims for measured moves to 17 at $6.50, $20, and $35. $17. Breaking above the Fib Circle 1.414, a significant resistance since December 2024, is the most important move. It is now evident that the upside is going to burst out. The upward breakout is taking place. Let's think about a hypothetical situation. The following Fib circles will be met if XRP moons in July. Fib 2.0 at $35, Fib 1.618 at $6.50, and Fib 1.888, which places it at $20. The formation's methodical move suggests that $17 would be an easy target. To capture all market moves and take profits at your desired targets, a dollar-cost averaging method is essential. Don't wait for a single pricing goal. Well, that's wise counsel. You gain broad exposure to a wide range of pricing points, much like dollar-cost averaging, you know. Take that action. That makes sense, in my opinion, when you're also selling. And that's what I will do. I therefore expect that I won't be selling the top when I first start selling. Of course not. That would be foolish. That's what I like to think I'm doing. After that, the price will increase, and I will sell it for more money, and then more money, and more money. After that, it might decline a little, but I'll still sell. After that, it will rise once more, and I will sell more there. Additionally, you receive extensive exposure at multiple exit points. Additionally, some of the XRP I'm selling may be significantly less than other parts of my holdings. It might be completely off. It can be completely different. And that's typical. Don't be hard on yourself because you don't. You should be prepared for that if it occurs to you, as though it's almost a given that it will occur. Nevertheless, that is typical. Just be aware that it exists. And that's a common human emotion, so some of you will be experiencing it. You'll think, oh my God, but if I had waited, I could have had so much more money. Don't try it, please. Where it will peak is unknown to you. You are raising your chances of making a mistake if you act in that manner. Rather, if you have several exit prices, you won't sell everything at the best price, but you also won't make a mistake. At the very least, you will have a great deal of wealth that will change your life. That's the right way of thinking, you know. That's what I believe. So I'm going to do that. After I start selling, it will rise significantly, and I will also raise my prices. It will all add up to a substantial sum of money that will change your life. I'm searching for that. This is an X-Force Global post. It's happening, XRP. As you can see, he is aiming for XRP to reach over $25. Not insane. I am not sure if it will reach that level, but many analysts believe that it is perfectly feasible, safe from the limitations of reality. It's just everywhere in this place. This is a post about the U.S. oil report from chart analyst dom.xrp. I appreciate this since, at least recently, the XRP/US oil pair is actually a few weeks ahead. It's been a few weeks ahead of XRP USD price action, so if it rises, it's given you an interesting preview of what's going to happen with XRP USD, at least recently. Thus, he said, the price of oil just reached its highest level since January 2018. At the moment, it is trading above the 220-day range's peak. As I've stated throughout the year, XRP's next all-time high run will begin with a complete break and acceptance outside of this range. And we're only a few inches away. For it to turn to support, we need complete acceptance and, ideally, a retest of the range high. So far, everything is going according to plan. It's on par with this pairing, printing, new high, and new high first. He therefore believes that this is voting and that it will vote favorably for the future movement of the XRP price. Thus, the best is still to come. It is definitely the case. And now, he's also mentioning Ethan, by the way. I simply reasoned that since it usually lasts throughout the season, a price has at last reclaimed the band of VWAPs. For the first time since February, it is currently trading back above its bull market trend, which we have been monitoring for months. Ethereum is back in action and should reprice the highs of $3,000 over the next month, but the crucial level to hold here is $3,000 to confirm the trend once more. He therefore believes that it will occur quickly in the upcoming weeks. When Ethereum, or XRP, was supposedly dead a few months ago, I recall that it was worth around $1,400. The basics hadn't changed, so I insisted it was foolish. Furthermore, when the market is so misaligned, the price drops without any real explanation. Instead, the market simply signals that it is most likely at the bottom. The price then rises as the market determines that. Recall that I said that numerous times, but it still transpired. The same thing occurred with XRP the previous year. It wasn't the end, of course. Everything will light up because we are in a bull cycle. This is our chance to get wealthy and change our lives. It's right here, friends. I am aware that we are drifting somewhat sideways, even downward. As I finish this video, the price of XRP is $2.88. Not important. Not important. My friends, the trend is on the rise. The tendency is upward. Many chart analysts predict that dips will be shallow and swiftly bought up, after which we will move forward. I do not provide financial advice. Nothing I write or say should influence you to buy or sell anything. That is a really, really awful idea.